We're
Hey!
live.
Yes, sir. Fais comme si tu
What's
le savais
happening?
pas, là.
All right, all right, all right.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, man?
Tactics Thursdays. Comment ça, bro?
What's up, bro?
Part viewer en commençant. Let's go.
Ben oui.
Ça, c'est réel, c'est réel, c'est réel.
Yes, sir.
Bro, la semaine qui termine, c'est presque fini. Gros chapitre aujourd'hui quand même. Gros truc. You want to introduce it because, bro, you've been listening to it more than me. You want to introduce the chapter? I don't know what's the name of the
Yes,
chapter.
sir. So yeah, today the chapter was called Everyone, regardless of your career, everyone is in sales.
We are all in sales. Okay, I got it here. Okay,
We are.
I was
all,
not sure.
Yeah. So,
Okay, so this is really the name of the chapter of mentor.
the name of the chapter was I want to make sure I read this right. The 10x mentor. We are all in sales. That's the name of the chapter. We are all in sales.
So
And it's we've spoken about this a few times. Like I gave that example of when we were kids, when we tried to convince our parents. I know I gave that example a few times, but I just love it. Like that's when we started sales, right? When we were young, trying to convince our parents, trying to convince people to get our way. And it started with sleepovers with your cousin.
oh yeah,
I want to sleep at my cousin's house. You would like strategize. Okay, let's wait till our parents are laughing and in a good mood, and then we're gonna strike and go with our pitch. Hey,
yes.
mom, dad, can could Anthony sleep over?
Kids are the best. There's the best. They're the
The
best.
best salespeople. The best salespeople are
They're
kids.
the best. It's true.
And
And you know
so,
what? I've read something this week. I was saying I can't remember where, man. I want to quote it like properly, but I really can't remember where I've seen it. It's just like a random quote that was talking about the fact that now there's more risk to your career
mhm.
more than ever because like what was used to be local, I would say, exclusive service business, like there used to be some businesses where l- locally you were the only one, so you were you know bulletproof. Your job was bulletproof. Like if your business that you're working for, even if you're an employee, if the business or the industry that you're working for is not bulletproof, well, you're not bulletproof. Your
So you mean we're
career,
we're more replaceable now more than
we're
ever?
more than ever, businesses and
Why do you think that
systems,
is?
and well, because of the abundance of connections and people. Like since COVID, it just accelerates, like we're able to connect with people like faster than ever, doing like online quotes and doing like these business. If you learn how to
Wait, so,
scale your
sorry.
processes, you could go
I
anywhere.
just want to make sure I understand. You mean like replaceable, like by technology or by other people?
By technology, automation, systems, like
Yeah.
Abasiello Group. I talk about them all the time. They built 100 restaurants in 3 years, where all restaurants right now, since COVID, we've been told they've been failing. They've had a hard time. These guys have been growing at a faster pace that we like. I can't, from my lifetime, I have never seen that. They're actually the fastest growing brand in Canada right now.
Pizza Salvatore.
Pizza Salvatore. They're a restaurant brand. People are complaining, my restaurant this, my restaurant that. There's restaurants that are doing good. They had to change. Also, they were talking about it. They had to change from dinner and dinner rooms and all that stuff to almost 80% to almost 90% delivery. They had to switch some things to be the franchise that they are right now, but they did it. Like
Well,
it's totally doable.
our good friends at Akinta were killing it during the
They were
pandemic.
killing it during
Like, a lot of businesses failed, especially restaurants. Man, restaurants had it rough, but
Yeah.
not them. Like Akinta was actually, I think he
They
told me
never it never came back.
they were doing better
Better
with
than before.
the pandemic than out of the pandemic.
We can't
Because
do
those
the
are people
live there. We can't do the podcast there because
because it's full.
it's always full.
But those are the type of people that like they'll pivot quickly when there's a problem with they're not sitting back and blaming
Exactly.
blaming the external factors. They're saying like, okay, well, if we can't bring customers in our restaurant, then I guess we got to bring the food to them.
To them.
So then they scaled their Uber Eats. I remember I passed by their restaurant a long time ago during the heat of COVID, and
They were
man,
it was firing the chicken.
Ooh,
You could smell the chicken
the
3 blocks
drivers.
away.
Oh my god, the drivers were in nonstop, in out, picking up the food, going, and that's how you have to be. You have to be ready to pivot. You have to be ready to switch on a dime. Otherwise, you're gonna fail. Because there's certain things that we just can't control. But one thing that a business needs to survive is sales, and by any means, and they not only survived, they've thrived.
They thrived, bro. Like they grew.
Everything's closed. All the businesses are closed, and then you have this chicken place, amazing food, not too expensive, and they're delivering like all day, every day.
It says a lot. It says a lot. Like it says a lot, and it tells you that everything is not guaranteed, but also there's more risk to what you are doing right now. Your career is more at risk than it used to be, but also there's more opportunities than before. So I feel like it's really our responsibility to change our mindset of like receiving a salary and getting that money from a big company. It's not going to be like that anymore. For the next 10 to 15 years, you're going to see a change in culture, in terms of like employability, and in terms of like filling your whole life with one career or 2 or 3, or you could have 3 careers.
You're one fire away from being poor. With that situation, people should be, while they have it good, having a salary, should be building some side hustles, whatever you want to call it. They should be building a business while they're getting paid,
or just good at be like
even if you love your job,
if you're good at selling yourself, you're just going to be able to sell yourself better, to get better jobs and better opportunities. Have 2 jobs, bro.
Love your job. Love your job. Stick to your job. Why not have like a side supplemental income? Why not build a small business on the side while you have your? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because it's a lot of work. It's not. It's not all peaches and rainbows. It's a lot of work. You got to work.
I'm not an advocate.
You got to finish working.
You got to finish side hustle. But
I know you're not.
It helped. It helped me.
I know you're
I started that way. I started that way with side hustle.
Listen, I know you're not, but it's a smart move because you're not risking your livelihood. You're still keeping your livelihood. You're still keeping your income. The only thing you're doing is you're taking you're putting your effort up a couple notches. So instead of finishing at 5 p.m. and then going home, you're finishing at 10 p.m.
For some of us, you're not finishing. It finishes at like 3. You wake up at 6:30.
That's tough. I can't do that. I can't do that because I won't have enough energy to. Then I'll just fail everything if I only sleep 3 hours. I don't know.
Not all the time. I'm not saying every day.
I don't know if when you become a dad, I feel like when you become a dad, you have that. I'm not a dad yet, but I see how my dad is, and my dad could wake up at 3 a.m, and it just go to bed at like
for months. Your kid, when you have kids for like it's been almost a month and a half. You could wake up at any time, just at any time. He has a gas, it needs to and it just wakes you up, and like
it's because you bear the responsibility that whether you're tired or not, you know that shit, I have to do it. You have the responsibility,
and you still have to go to work tomorrow. It's super hard. Yes.
Yeah.
It is hard.
But it doesn't. But you're not as productive though. That's the thing. Like you're not.
Sometimes you have to. When I clean windows, I can't.
But are you gonna be able to complete?
Are
you gonna be able to complete as much as you could? I don't think so.
Of course not.
So
You
you're not
you
going to
take
be as
on
productive.
less.
So
Yes, you take on less, but you still do the same
in
quality.
your
Yeah.
case, you have no choice. You got to wake up at 2, 3 a.m. to change the diapers. You have no choice, but that's life, you know?
But you know what I do? I give my all for the whole day, and then I go to bed right after the podcast. Like
Yeah.
I go eat. I go downstairs. Pick up the kids. Go for a bath. I do the kids routine,
Hmm.
and I pretty much go to bed right after. I have no plans afterwards. But I feel like I'm not losing anything. I feel like for some people, like, I won't be able to give away all that stuff that I'm doing after like watching all my shows, and I don't miss the shows. I don't miss. Sometimes I love what me. I'm a big football fan. I watch football all Sunday. On Sunday I watch football.
That's like your, ça c'est comme ton
That's
gâteau.
my
That's
big
like your,
thing. There's games on Mondays, and there's games on there's a game tonight. Sometimes I'm just too tired to watch the whole game. I just fall asleep in front of it, and it's okay. Like, I'm not. It's fine. Like,
you allow yourself to do those things. You have to allow
listen,
yourself to those
you
little
miss a
treats.
game. Okay, yeah. You
But
it's not big treats, and I have to admit, I don't go out a lot. But bro, this process of building a business and bootstrapping stuff, and just uh doing this podcast, having you guys set on a live, it's demanding. It's asking us a lot of preparation, you and me, George. But bro, you get so much value.
mhm.
I feel like I'm building something inside of me that was not there 3-4 months ago. It's there now. I feel like I'm more confident. I was talking to people about our appearances on another podcast, because we're gonna be on another podcast. We're filming
On
this
Jaw's business.
on Jean's business.
Sorry, fella, because I see that we have quite a few people here. I just want to take the time to say hi to you guys. Thanks
Yes.
for watching, and if you guys want to drop in the comments, like, are you guys just working a 9 to 5 job, or do you guys own a business? Do you do both? You guys want to share your stories with us?
Come
We'd
to
be happy
YouTube
to.
so I could see the comments, because I can't see what's written on Giordano's Instagram.
Well, here I have one person watching me on
And
Insta.
also,
Most people
okay.
are already on YouTube here. But
So please subscribe.
Hey, Nicole, what's happening? Oh, my friend
It's
Nicole's
okay,
watching me on Insta, I think.
Rich.
Nicole, if you could come, I'm gonna put the link to our YouTube. If you can come to our YouTube, it actually helps us a lot when you come to the YouTube. Subscribe, like, and it helps with the algorithm.
So yeah, 10th of December.
But you're a real one, Nicole. I see that you've been there a while. So
10th of December, George, we're going to be on that On Jaw's business podcast, French podcast. It won't be live, though. I think it's just like
it's not
it's a
live.
recording. No, it's not live. We're recording it on the 10th, but I don't know when it's going to be live. But we'll let you know. We'll let you guys know, definitely. But I feel like that the point I was making is, I'm not even stressed. Like 3 months ago, it was unthinkable that I would like just show up on like someone else's podcast, just talk about random stuff.
Yeah.
Impossible. I just feel relaxed.
You would be shocked. You would for sure be nervous, and I'm sure
It
a
would
lot of
be a
people
shock.
I'm
It
sure a
would be
lot
a
of people are
shock.
nervous. But the fact that we just
Yeah.
do this every day, it's just like, I don't know. Like, I'm not nervous anymore. I'm not like when I first started doing the podcast and just coming on camera, I was a bit shy. I was a bit, I wasn't talking much. And you got to just jump out of your comfort zone. Got to just do what's scary. That's how you get over stuff. That's how you become better.
If you have
No cap.
a skill, even if it's small, you need, especially in these times where I feel like people are getting value, like organic skill building, and like not because I have big skill, I'm the best at what I would, just like showcasing my skill, just trying is enough for people to be like, hey, this is nice, I want to like be part of it. This is actually, so it builds your confidence. By practicing, of course, what's happening when you practice all the time? You become better.
Become better.
So your content becomes more relevant. you become better at what you do, and you have more fun doing it. It
Hmm.
just becomes fun. It used to be a grind. It used to be like a, yo, are you ready? Are you ready? Yeah, we're pressing out. No, we just don't think about it. Okay, je pèse sur le
You
temps.
sort of you
You
sort of
don't think about it. It's
like
second
with the
nature.
experience that you gain when you try stuff, you sort of develop these little hacks, like the hack that you
Mm.
kind of invented there. Well, invented. I don't want to say invented, but what you do it when you say you don't focus on looking at how many people are watching us. You just kind of look at me and like as if, and I'm looking at you like we're having a conversation. For me, it doesn't work that. I'm always looking to see if we have people there, just to see if people want to share their stories, stuff
We
like
don't have
that.
the same job though. Like you have the job also to look at your things and make
Yeah,
sure
we
that
can't be two
we're
people doing
answering
that anyways, I guess.
exactly. Yes, it's confusing.
And getting back to sales, let's because we
But we're still on the. I was still reading our notes, by the way. I was still, because it's part of it. Like owning your skills, it's part of focusing on what you can control. I was just getting ahead of our notes, George.
well, sales is one thing that I feel like a lot of people have issues with, just going up to people, or just doing cold calls and reaching out to prospects. Like you gotta just do it in order to get over it. Kind of like what we just
Mm.
described by us starting the podcast, being scared of coming on
Like getting in
on
cold
on, on
water.
camera. And
Yeah.
like you have to thrive on, how can I say this? I became like obsessed with becoming. I became obsessed with coming out of my comfort zone,
Mm.
because that's when I started kind of growing so
But we
much and
started
learning.
young, right? We started like at 18 years old. I was 18, I think, 18, 19 when we both started in sales,
Of
cold
course,
calling. We were young. We built like, we went out of our comfort zone early. It was like super like,
is it easier when you're younger because like you don't care about making mistakes? When you get
you
older,
just
you're
you
kind of
just
more.
realize earlier, I feel. You just realize earlier that going out of your comfort zone is actually the way. It's the way to break barriers. And I was, because listen, I started working in sales with you, George. I was 18 years old, 19 years old, I think. 19, 20, something like that.
Bro, it's so long. It's like time flies, man. It's like
Bro,
15
it's
years.
15 years back. And but it's not so long ago at the same time. I feel like it's not so long ago still. We were taking the metro, and at some point you were lifting me there. We had fun. I had fun. And it was hard for me because I was French,
Hey, Joe Felice.
exclusively French speaking, a little English on the side. I was not good as I am right now, obviously. And everybody was talking English around me. I was the only French guy. There was a little French apartment. Um, it was pretty intimidating, but I needed the money. I needed something to, like, my parents were not paying for we're not like, my parents were not those parents, like, I had to work and get for myself. And my car just broke down. That's the real story. My car broke down, and I was walking from, when I met you, and you gave me that hint for the job. I was walking from the bank
I
because I
remember
just
I
told
was
my,
driving. I was driving. He's like, "Hey," and
yeah,
and you were saying you were looking for a job. I'm like, "Come, I got you. I got you. I got you." The company
you,
I'm working for is hiring. They're always looking for young, energetic salespeople.
next Monday I was there. I
And
was sitting there.
admit you fell in love as soon as you made your first sale. I meant you were hooked
It was
right away.
over.
Like, wow, it
It
was
was
over. It just
over.
takes that one time. It takes that
It
one
changed
time.
my. It basically changed my life because I was not gonna
Yeah.
follow
For me,
that
I
path.
was kind of like Kev. Like, I was okay with doing it. I just didn't want people watching me. I didn't want to be watched doing it in case I make a mistake. Like, okay, nobody could laugh at me.
But you need to at that point. In these places, like, they
Yeah.
don't allow you to, like, be private. They're like, no,
They
no.
record the
They
calls are
record.
recorded.
They
They
record
listen.
the calls, and they
They
listen
listen
to
to
you.
everything.
That's crazy. So it makes you, like, go naked a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
you can't be prude too much because they're just out there listening to you, right? So you can't have, like, I feel like the like, we didn't have much room there to just, like, be creative and do whatever we wanted. We had that pitch. It was old school, right? When I watched the Wolf of Wall Street and all these guys calling, it was pretty much the same thing. Just like, especially
It
at the
was
first place we worked.
kind of, yeah, on a less intense level.
Less intense
But
level because we were not selling high ticket like
we're
they
not
do in
fucking partying the way they were.
yeah, it was not the same thing.
Steve May, Steve May. Or wait, or what about the?
No, but we had like, bro, you have to. There was some people. There was some like actual.
That was for course. I don't know if course is still there, but that was for course. Tootsie.
There was a few colorful people there in these call centers. I learned a lot. I don't know if it's still like that. It's I guess it's less hot than it used to be, but we learned a lot, and we went like extremely out of our comfort zone. For me, it was totally different. But it gave me skills. Sales they gave you life skills, because afterwards you know that you're able to sell yourself. So it's not only about selling something, it's about and selling something, guys. Selling a product is not about selling the product. It's about you and your capacity to
build relationships.
But also, people are gonna be they're gonna be waiting for you on the left turn. Like being like spontaneous enough, being like it builds you that quickness, that brain quickness.
Think quickly on your feet.
Think quickly.
Yeah, because you're handling objection. Because you're handling objection. So you're kind of like, you have to forecast. You have to predict what they're gonna say, and you have to be ready to
plan
answer.
like where. Okay, if he says that, you fork there. You're like, okay, yeah, I know what to say. You need to plan this.
It uses a lot of mental energy. Like I remember at the end of my day, I would be exhausted. It's a lot of like, it's not like you're waking up at 4 a.m. and you're, like when you're in construction, you're physically burnt. Like these kind of jobs, you're mentally drained at the end of the day.
But I feel like when you have no money in life, that's what you need to do. And when you're young and you're starting, you need to use that energy of yours. So like I felt like I was doing the most. When you're doing cold calls, you're doing the most. You're doing the most that you could do. So what do you do? Like, George, what do you do when you're trying to sell to somebody? Like, let's get deep into the stake here. Like,
well, ultimately, you want to solve their problem. You're trying to solve their problem, number one. So you want to be able to show them that you can solve their problem, and that you're there to help. Like, stop selling. Be more in the mind frame of, I want to help them solve their problem. Because everybody has problems, and you get paid for solving people's problems. So like number one, obviously get leads, fill up your pipeline. Leads, call. Get leads. And
people are scared to call. Like most people are scared to call. Let's be real. Most people are scared to make a first call. I've witnessed most of my people around me. I don't want to like get like name drop anybody, but like I've witnessed most of my people make their first calls, their first cold calls. Show me like, okay, call, do it. Do 10 calls, tell me what happens. Like, okay, but what do I do? They go super technical. Like when you're doing your first call, you're going super technical. I admit, George, your first call is the most technical call you do. Because as soon as you do your first call, you're like, hey, it was that easy? It's stupid. Okay. And you throw away all the paperwork that you've written and all this stuff, and you just take that away. It's
like you kind of need to be told. You need to be told off a few times to learn. Like, okay, I'm calling business owners. These people are busy. Maybe I should not waste too much time describing the product too much. Maybe I should just jump right into it. That's when it opens a whole new, like when cold calling becomes like opens up a whole new world. It's when you learn that one concept that the people are busy. And you have to be quick. And then you have to, like, within the first 5-10 seconds, have to tell them why you're calling. What problem are you solving? Right. And not like, we sell this pen is it's really good because you could just like turn it like this and okay.
It's so, like, true. when you're going technical about the thing and you're trying to like inform people, teach people, it's
Like I remember even after I gained a lot of experience, when I had very few leads, I was more nervous when I was handling the sales calls because like
Mm,
in my head, I'm like, okay, if I failed this one, if I failed this prospect, I don't have much else in my pipeline. So like you're kind of nervous, regardless of your skill level. But if you keep filling up your pipeline with leads, you're more confident after because you're like, okay,
yeah, you're right.
even if I failed, even if I don't close this deal, I have like 100 more
100
prospects in the
more.
pipeline.
I
So
could I could
I
fix
don't
that
care.
on the
And
next
and and all
call.
of a sudden they start to feel that. They start to feel
Yeah.
that you don't care. Not that you don't care, but don't get me wrong, you obviously care about them. You want to help them, but you're not worried. You're not stressed if it doesn't close. So then they feel like, okay, this person does this a lot. They kind of get the sense that Wolf of Wall Street
Yeah,
changed my life. Of
it's
course.
true. You're experienced.
Tootsie. Yeah.
But it's true. Like the more leads and the more contacts that you're making, the less pressure you're putting on your sales skills.
The less pressure you have on yourself for sure.
Like it's definitely less of a burden. Like you don't have to be the best sales guy. And I feel like if especially when you own your, like if it's your own small business that you're trying to sell, it's very weird. Like and there's a big difference. Like George, do you remember like when we started at these companies, they had automated dialers. We didn't
Yeah.
even know, like
Yeah,
it was
that
that
was amazing to
concept.
start. Yeah, the automatic
Yeah,
calls was amazing
it
to
was
practice.
just an
Because like it's
infinity of
just call
leads.
out. Yeah, it's like call and call,
Call
boom, boom,
and
boom,
call
boom.
and you
You're
have
making like a
nothing
hundred
to
calls.
do.
You're
Yes,
making
but you
like a
don't
hundred
have that
calls.
system when
Like
when it's your own business.
it
Like
all
what?
it all starts with your mindset. Like if you're calling people and you're in the mindset that you actually want to help them, like if you're in the mindset that's like, oh my god, I have to close this deal, my pay depends on it, and if I fail, you lost. You're not going anywhere. Like you actually have to love your prospect, love them, want to
Mm,
help them.
it's
The
true.
conversation is going to be totally different. They're going to feel it like, okay, this person actually wants to.
And it's
This
true.
person actually
And,
wants to
and
help.
it's weird. You say that and it has nothing to do with the product.
It has nothing to do with the product. They need to like you. When somebody likes you, they want to
Mhm.
gravitate towards you. They want to give you stuff.
Yeah,
You know?
bro. Like it's weird because you say that and it makes me think that the ones that were having the most success in the call centers were the ones that were the more organic. It was not like you had those confident looking sales guy. They were not the ones that were selling the most necessarily. Sometimes yes, but most of these guys, they had good weeks and bad weeks. But I remember the ones who were making like steady good weeks all of the time, and it looked easy for them. Do you remember? They didn't look like crazy salesman, super active, blah, blah, blah. They were actually just having casual conversations with the right people, doing numbers. They were doing their job. They were showing up in time, doing their, like, I remember, I have to admit, I was not that person all the time, but I remember seeing like openers, seeing people, they were ripping the calls, but quietly, just naturally. They were just having casual conversations. Hi, my name is I'm just calling from the company this, ta 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 ta. I was just wondering if you guys needed this, that. Uh, and we're just having casual conversation. I don't know if you could remember that, but to me, my experience as also a team leader, because at some point I had to hire people and train people and track their results. My best people were really not the ones who were trying the hardest.
The tryhards.
They were actually the ones who were more like steady on their work and really trying to engage in real conversations. They had
Mhm.
that sense of like you say, bro, like they were trying to
They had the
actually help their
yeah.
clients. Yes, they were really trying to help them.
Yeah.
Not
It's like I want to say that story again that the convenience store that I closed.
mm,
Remember, it was a Chinese dep, huge volume,
mhm.
convenience store. The guy was paying like 4.5% with a competitor, and I knew deep in my soul that this
That's
like
just
that
for
this client.
for some people that so they understand. That's 4 times the price. That's 4 times what the market was paying at that time. 4% was like almost 4 times. Four
So
times.
this prospect that I went to see was paying, like Felix said, 4 times more. Like I was able to save them in dollar figure was over $500 a month for this same service, accepting credit card payments. And
Per month.
and I went there and I ran over the numbers and I was showing them, and I was really confident that we're switching. We want to onboard this client, but they're saving a lot of money by coming on board with us. And so I told them, like, sir, we're saving you $450 a month. Like, sign with me right now, and then come. We'll go to the Mercedes dealership, and you could literally buy yourself, or you could just go lease a new Mercedes with the savings that I'm bringing to you
At the time, because now it's like
at the time. And
Mercedes are little.
and so that he wasn't buying, and he wasn't buying obviously because he didn't believe me. He just didn't believe me. Like, how could this guy just come in for the same service, save me $500-$600 every month? Impossible. So I told the person, I said, sir, I said, with all due respect, if you don't sign, like, I'm not leaving here until you sign that contract. And I'm not leaving here until you sign, because I can't believe that I'm saving you $500 for the same service and you don't even want to come on board with us. I said, sir, I'm not honestly, but I said it jokingly, obviously.
Ouais, je comprends.
And the guy started laughing. He's like, okay, he must be serious. And he signed. As soon as I said that line, he signed.
He was actually like, maybe he waited for, like, I feel like some clients sometimes they wait for that sign that you're serious.
Yeah.
Like, is he really serious? Like, I'll see if he's serious.
Like, clearly, if somebody's not willing to sign, it's because they don't trust you.
Yeah.
They don't want to sign after you're saving them $500 a month. They just don't trust you. And so that line, it was a joke. So I said it jokingly. I said, sir, like, with all due respect, I'm not leaving here until
But he
you
did sign.
And he signed it. He started, as soon as I said that, I saw like he kind of like, okay, like, this is serious. Why would this guy, think about
joke
it.
Like
you
that.
have to, you have to actually mean what you're saying if you're that confident in that situation.
You know what's interesting, super interesting about, like, your story? What I find interesting is like in your story, people might find it like, okay, it's like he just said that joke and he closed. Yes. It's the absence of all the other stuff you could have said that makes it powerful. Like, this story is powerful. I'm not going to start getting technical. So many things.
I'm not going to start getting technical.
My machine is better. My rates are so much better. You're going to keep pushing on the rates. You just said, sir, with all due respect, I'm not leaving because this is such a good deal. You didn't broke a sweat trying to explain 100 things. And that's, I feel like most of our, like most of people, like, they would have like tried to push all the information, all the teaching, all this stuff. Naturally, we're trying to do that. It's not the thing to do. It's the logical thing to do is trying to not make sense of what the client has told you.
Wait, hold on. We have a comment here. We have a comment by Mr. Salvatore.
It's not only that they don't trust you sometimes, they're comfortable the way they are and they don't want to switch.
Yeah, that's 100% true. But let's be honest, who doesn't want to save $500
per month?
Why wouldn't you switch to save $500
same service?
For the same service? You're a convenience store. You're accepting payments, credit card payments, and I'm just giving you my Visa MasterCard system.
Which is the same thing.
You're being charged 4% on the transactions, and I'm charging you 2% or 1.5, whatever, 1.7, whatever it was at the time. So the only reason for you not to want to, why would you not want to save $500 a month? It makes no sense. I
understand the not wanting this.
I understand. I
understand
it. I understand it could be comfortable, but at the end of the day, it's because you don't trust. You don't actually believe that. It's too good to be. It sounds too good to be true, right? They tell you that all the time. If it sounds too good to be true, it's because it ain't. But when you stand there and you make a bold statement like that, the person starts to think psychologically, like, he doesn't want to leave until I sign. Like, Like that's pretty bold, you know? Like, okay,
Mm.
you know, this guy has balls, you know? Like this guy has
He's
that's what
not
it comes
saying
down to.
that for nothing.
He's not saying that for nothing.
Like that would be my case as a consumer. I would be like, hey, this guy he sounds different. Like, why is he saying that? I would ask more questions. I would be curious. Why is he so like? It could be sales material. It could be. I could be wrong, but he inserted that doubt. He didn't walk away. He inserted that doubt. Now that's your job if you're selling yourself. And it's not only in sales and trying to sell a product and trying to switch someone and make someone switch. It's also about selling yourself. If you're out there like dropping CVs, if you're 17 years old trying to drop, you need to sell yourself.
You
It's
need to
the
sell
same skill.
yourself. What could you do for the company? What could you do for us if I'm hiring you? You know, if I'm interviewing somebody and somebody comes in and confidently, like my goal is to improve the bottom line at the end of the day. When it's all said and done, I want to increase. We need to increase sales. We're a business.
Everybody's
We need to
winning,
grow.
right?
So if somebody
Everybody's winning.
comes in and confidently
That's
tells me why they're the one for the job, why they can increase our sales, what they can do for us, I'm hiring them. Plain and simple.
100%.
I'm not looking at their school, their education.
And not looking back, right? I've did that plenty of times. I gave the person who wanted that's actually one of my rules. I'm giving opportunities to the person that wants it the most and shows it the
Yep.
most, because I feel like, hey, like most people are not showing anything, they're keeping everything inside. If that person is, even if I could be wrong, but I feel like trying because this
It
person is actually
it is
showing me
so
something different.
easy. It is so easy. Sorry to cut you, Phil.
No
It's
problem.
so easy to set yourself apart from the pack. Like most people won't just be willing to show up in person with their CV. Show up. Go in, ask to
Yeah.
speak to the
Yeah.
manager. Hey, can I speak to the manager? The manager here. I have my
Old
CV.
school. Yeah.
Old
Old
school.
school. Just
Nobody's
do it.
doing that. I don't think people are doing that right now. Actually going in. They're just staying at home on their computer.
I've
Go
had
in,
people
dress
doing that.
nice. Dress nice. Go show up.
Bro, the best person. They're not all the time. It's not like
Like you could literally
100%.
land your, instead of going the direction of like, oh, call me for an interview, just go in and go land the job right on the spot. You literally could go land the job right now if you just walk in with your CV, be presentable, speak well, firm handshake, all those things. You're gonna set yourself apart from the competition. A lot of you guys know who Andrew Tate is. I got this trick from Andrew Tate, and I really like this example that he gave. It's one of his examples that he was before he was famous, he was getting a job he wanted to get a job in advertising, and he had no schooling, he had no educational background, and he went for an interview, and all the other people interviewing for the position in advertising all had education. They all had the required degree that you needed to get the job. And here Andrew Tate didn't have a degree for marketing, so he went into the interview and he said, "Look, I don't have an education. I don't have a degree in marketing. But I'll tell you what, you hire me for I'll work for 1 week. If you don't like me, you don't got to pay me. But if I work for 1 week, you like me, you keep me." The balls it takes to go there saying that you're going to work 1 week for free.
I landed. I
So
don't know
these
if you remember,
people,
George.
so wait, so I just want to finish. So all these people that are going in for the interview, they spent 4 years in university getting a degree, and all he's doing is going there working 1 week for free. Worst case, they fire him, and he just worked 1 week for free.
Do you remember, George, at the beginning of when you started working in sales for us for Uninet?
Mm-hmm.
We were 2 years or one and a half year in. We landed that contract doing that exact same thing that you're explaining. We did a 1 day
Free trial.
You
You like us, you keep us.
And we landed a 300K contract, 300K
See?
every year contract in that exact same way. It was bold. We had to show up with a team, so it costed us like at least $1,000 for the whole day. It was a deep clean of one store, and we ended up closing 22 stores to do every week every week, 52 weeks, 52 weeks a year, 22 stores. The cleanup, regular cleanup, regular maintenance. I also landed all the extras, everything that we needed to do for those stores. We landed with one day of cleaning, literally like $1,000. So $1,000 brought more than $1 million in business to this date. How crazy is that? How crazy is that?
Good job.
That's how you do that. That's how you. I feel like you have to give up something. You need to give up something. You need to give up. And if you don't have money, it has to be energy or effort. Because and as we said, like, wasn't that yesterday that we were talking about competing and dominating? We were talking about that yesterday on the live. Don't compete. Don't be in the race. Don't be in the rat race. This guy that you were talking about, George, was in the race against all these guys. And he was going to lose because on paper, he was not showing enough.
He was not showing enough on paper. But what did he show? He showed that he was different. He's not like all those guys coming in all ready, same. He comes in. Look, let's cut to the chase.
Crazy.
I don't have a university degree in marketing, but I'll tell you what, that I'll kill it for you guys. I'm willing to work 1 week for free to show you guys. The other person has, I'll take a chance on this person. What do I have to lose? Nothing.
Nothing. And bro, he learned probably more than people like. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years in uni wouldn't give you the experience that this guy got by working at this particular job. Afterward, he was balling. He didn't.
But think about it. Even if he didn't get the job, though, like he wasted 1 week when all those other people, they worked 4 years. They studied 4 years just to be able to get that job.
He had that pitch, though.
He
had that marketing. He had that. He was going.
He had the differentiator. He was confident.
He had that pitch, though. Like, I have to say, like, the pitch was crazy, fire. Let's be real. It's very good. And if you have that chance to give your client or your next interview, like someone
risk-free,
this pitch, without putting yourself in trouble, right? You're not giving away something that you can't give. I was able to give that. Let's be real. Like, I was not putting myself in danger by giving. You're not gonna go like, yeah, I could take this ladder and go up, and you're not sure of what you're doing. Don't do that. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is anything that you could take on and give for free, do it. Like, I would give any of you guys a free training any time of the day, just because right now I'm trying to get known. I'm trying to get through obscurity. We don't have 100, 1,000, 10,000 people watching this live. So of course I'll give out a free training. Call me, leave a comment, just DM me, ask me for something. I'll answer your questions. 100%.
Honestly, I'm right there with you. If anybody's down to come in and have a free training session about sales, about business, I'd be more than happy.
That would be my pleasure, actually. I would be very happy to help someone fix their sales problems, fix their company's sales department. Like, how could we increase the lead generating? Easy. Me and George, we love those problems. How could we fix problems? This is the whole point of this podcast. How could we help your clients or the people you're trying to help fix their problems? Be a problem fixer.
Be a problem solver. Yeah. Don't be a salesperson. Be a problem fixer. I like that.
It changes the mindset of everything, and you're less stressed when you're calling your clients afterward. C'est plus facile.
Okay, so let's go through the whole process one by one. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's start. Let's talk about this. Okay. So you're starting from scratch. You want to start getting clients for your business. Step 1. Open up Google Maps. Get a phone. Step 2.
It all depends also what you're trying to sell. Like, if you're selling muffins, obviously it's going to be different if you're selling like bolts and nuts and metal equipment, or
Well,
like
to
it
use
all
this example,
depends.
to use this, yeah, for sure, you're absolutely right. But to use this example, let's just say we're targeting small businesses.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? Is that fair? Because
Yes.
obviously you can't just go on Google if we're targeting the everyday. If we're targeting consumers, we can't just go on Google and get their numbers. That would have to
There's
be a
different
different
ways.
way
That's all I
for
wanted to
sure.
say.
You would have to
But
go. You would have to go
there's a
door to
way.
door. You
Yeah.
would have to make
Email
pamphlets.
campaigns. There's different
Yeah,
ways,
but
obviously.
okay, email campaigns, but you would still have to go get their emails,
Yeah.
and they're not just available online. You still have to get them somehow. So
Right.
having a CRM, having a
I feel
solid,
like it's the first thing.
having a
First
solid
thing.
system to keep track of all your leads that you're calling, because like when you're reaching out to people, don't just go for the sale. Go for get the email, get their
Yeah.
name, get their email,
Because
get this
obviously
information. Start
that's
building a
later
system.
on sales, right? These clients, you will
Yeah,
keep
because
them for
most
later
people
on.
are not going to buy from you right away. They're
Yeah.
gonna buy for you eventually.
Mhm.
Get to know them. Let them know who you are.
Mhm.
Let them know who you are. Get their email. Send them an email. Build a pipeline. You need to build a pipeline. Fill up your pipeline. The more leads and the more leads you have, the better. And so, what your goal is to go out there and just call as many people as you can, as humanly possible. Call, get emails, get yourself known. So that's number one. What's number two, Phil?
You need to build your shield. I would say no, not your shield. You need to like build your resistance to rejection. You will be rejected, but rejection is your opportunity to bounce back and tell why you're there and why you are that person. You need to reframe what the person is thinking about your company and your brand and what you're trying to sell and you. So the more rejection I feel, the better. If you don't get, it's worse to have someone not telling you anything. No, hangs up the phone. There's nothing to do. There's nothing you can. They don't give you any power. But when someone tells you, "I'm not interested. I already have someone," they just gave you the opportunity to tell them, "Well, obviously you have someone. Everybody has someone. I expect you to have someone that
I hope you
cleans
have
your
somebody.
windows. I hope you have somebody because if I go there and you never cleaned your windows, it's gonna cost you more, right? Like and you just make the joke, like you're just gonna laugh.
And it also like the more calls you make, the more you're just gaining experience and you're learning how to handle rejections. You're learning all those things.
You develop that
really
resistance.
like in short, like the number one thing is to just keep calling and keep filling up your pipeline. And the stage of your pipeline, as your prospects come into your pipeline, you want to get their emails, you want to send them an email, and you want to follow up with them. And then you want to try to close them. And if they close, great. If they don't close, you still keep them in your pipeline. You still keep their contact information. You still have their emails. And they're gonna probably need it. If not today, they're probably gonna need it tomorrow, next month, the month after, next year, whatever. Like we've talked about this all the time of how many times we've had leads that just randomly come in a year later and they call, "Hey, I just got into a fight."
Long, and now they need it.
That's why the CRM, the system that you have for keeping your leads and keeping your clients is super important.
It's the first thing.
You don't want to lose them.
It's definitely the first thing. You want to find yourself a good CRM.
What if they're starting with no money though? What if they're starting with no money, Phil? Would you still
I definitely started with no money with the CRM. If you really want to, I started with a cheap CRM.
Because how much is a CRM?
But I started with a CRM.
How much is a CRM per month?
Well, if you have one user, it's gonna cost you like less than $100 to start. Like, you want to know? It costs $0 because you have a 30-day free trial. Okay, you have no excuses. Let me tell you. You always have a 30-day free trials on those bad boys. So let me tell you something. You could try one CRM.
Let me tell you something.
You could start with one CRM, 30-day free trial. You try it. You don't like it. Obviously, you're not going to like it. You're going to try another one. 30-day free trial. Of course, you start with like your random, you don't have a business email yet. So you start with your personal email, 30-day free trial. That's what I did, right? I had like 3-4 different emails. It's not Like, okay, like they're gonna say, hey, c'est pas gentil, don't do that, don't say that. Well, I ended up buying, okay, for many years. So they can't tell me anything. Okay. I started with a few emails, 30-day free trial. I was not doing that on purpose. I was doing that because I was trying out these CRMs. But you gather the information, and then you switch to another CRM. Fine, you just export your information, you export your clients to the other CRM, and you start over. So you don't need money at the beginning. You need money later on when you're scaling, you're ready. You have 1, 2, 3 users, and then it costs you like what? 130, 100, depending on the options that you're taking. But you're not an enterprise yet. You're just a little small fish. So it's not supposed to cost you a lot of money. It's supposed to cost you like
And the earlier the better.
$150.
The earlier to get that CRM, the better.
Then now
Because
is
then
now
after
is
like
now
if
now
you,
is the
yeah,
time.
because if you wait too long, then you're just gonna have a bunch of clients on
Bunch of-
paper. And
Yes, that you need to put
it's a
inside
wait,
the
you're
thing.
gonna have to put them in after like yeah. It's
So
better
if you
to
wait
start
too
with
long,
one
you
right
won't
away.
want to do it. Exactly. It's just going to be a pain. I started right away. I didn't have a client. I opened the CRM.
And then your
Because-
CRM is like you're planting that seed and you're just watering it every day.
That's it.
And you're just
It's giving-
watering, you're
it's giving
following
you
up,
fruits.
and you're sending out emails, and
Boom.
you're always
Yes.
entering new ones in. The trick to have steady, consistent sales is to have consistent leads coming in. As your leads are moving up the pipeline to the close stage, you always have to be filling it up with new leads. There's constant flow of new leads that come in. Because you're gonna see, like when well, you're starting up, you're gonna have leads coming in. You're probably not gonna have sales the first week, second week, and then week number 3, you're gonna start having all those clients that you started getting and those leads that you started getting. Take about like 2 weeks to close, let's say, depending on what you're selling. And then once you've exhausted those leads and you've squeezed the orange, you've gotten some deals out of those leads, but you haven't fed new leads in the system. Now you're
But-
going to have another 2-3 weeks of dead, no sales.
How important is it to have a 2-step process? I know like it's not something that we were supposed to talk about, but how important do you think it is to have a 2-step process of like calling to open up? Okay, hi, I wanted to give you like this amazing offer. Can I talk to you on Monday? On Monday, we'll take the time. Da 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 da. Or like we do at Uninet, like hi, da da da. We're in the area. We're trying to offer our neighbors, like our clients' neighbors, a good offer on their cleaning, on their maintenance, on their window cleaning, whatever. Would you like to have a quote? You're not trying to sell right away when you're calling. You're not selling any, hey, window cleaning, you want it now? Like, nobody's doing that. How important? Like, I'm asking you, Jordan, how much do you think it's important to have a 2-step process for selling? Like 1 step opening to heat up the person, to heat up your client, and then closing later on.
Yeah, because you're building a relationship. You're trying to build a relationship. You don't want to come off as too like and in order to close, like they need a reason to do it now. There needs to be a sense of urgency of why we're doing it now. Like our strategy when we're selling the cleaning is we're calling them and we're telling them like, hey, we're in your area. We're taking care of the windows and of all the buildings in the area. And we're there for the month of November. Like right now, let's say, for example, it's November 1st and I'm calling them in November. Yeah, we're there for the month of November and we're doing the windows in your area. And we're working on some of your neighbors. Familiarity. Now they're familiar. Like, okay, they know our neighbors are doing. These guys all of a sudden are not a stranger. Perfect. And they're here for November. Okay, we're in November. So that means I need to yes or no now. I need to let this company know now if I'm doing it or not. Now all of a sudden, so they have to, because if you don't give them that sense of urgency, they're just gonna they're not gonna say no.
You could almost say, touch it the way you say it.
Like they're not gonna say no necessarily. They're just gonna keep giving you the run. They're gonna give you the rundown. I'll call me back next week, or I'll call you back next week. I'll call you back next. They're all like they're not gonna say no
it's
because
not
they
urgent in their head.
They want to keep. It's not urgent. They don't. It's not like they don't need to do it now, so they'll just keep it. But if you tell them like, hey, look, we're there for the month of November. Well, I gotta give Felix an answer now because yeah, you know what? Swing by, Hey, we got some action heating up in the chat over there on Insta.
Guys, come on YouTube so I can see your comments.
Well, it's not much. It's just they're just firing pears at us. They just. Thanks for the comments, guys. Mika, the Insta is heating up. I feel like it's a coordinated heat up. You know, these guys are together. The pair strategy. Explain, B-Rod. Explain the pair strategy. But yeah, so they need the sense of urgency, because without the urgency, they're just gonna keep giving you the rundown.
And they're gonna keep telling you no, like not right now. But like if it's not right now and you feel like it's, don't get discouraged. Have your like your phrase of like you're out, like I don't know how to say that, like your outgoing phrase, like when they're going
Coordinated
out,
pair of pairs.
go out with them. Like you need to find the moment where they're going to be ready to listen to your message. If it's not now and they're telling you not now, I don't need it now. Now is not the time. My contract is not, I have a contract. I can't get out of my contract. Okay, are you sure? Like, is there...
Write that down. That's why you have the CRM. Write down that information.
That's what I was saying.
That's valuable information.
Exactly.
Like, and
you need
then
to write that down.
And then put a callback. They said that their contract ends next November.
So at that moment, they're gonna be listening to you.
Yep.
Now is not the time.
They're gonna remember you.
They're gonna be remember you, and they're gonna appreciate.
Send them an email. Send them something.
Clients love when we think about them. If you really think about it, they love it because they're like, "Hey, you remembered me." And you know what I was thinking? Most sales people are not staying at the right spot. Like they're not staying at the same spot, especially now in these like times and days. I feel like when the same sales guy called you back months later, a year later, for the same service, people don't have patience anymore. They don't want to like do a one campaign for that long. But when you do it, when you keep pushing, a year later, 2 years later, they're like, "Hey, this guy is still there. That company is still there.
They know you.
I need to try them." Because
I guess you got to manage your expectations. So it's about managing your expectations in your head when you're going out there and you're doing calls. Don't get discouraged if you're not getting all those deals in. Like, be happy that you got emails. That's good. You're building up your database. You got emails. People know you.
That's important.
And take down that information. I love when people tell me like, "Oh, I just signed the contract. It's going to end next year." I love that. That's perfect. Next year, I'm 100% closing this because I have this information. I'm going to call you 3 months before. "Hey, it's me from, we spoke on the phone last year. I know your contract's coming up." And they're going to, at the minimum, say yes to the quote. At minimum. Nobody's ever going to say no to a free quote.
And for that to happen, Jord, are you with me that you need to like ask them hard questions that you won't ask if you're just out there saying yes to everything? "Oh, okay, I understand. Oh, you have a contract. Oh, okay. So thank you. Bye.
No,
I hear that all the time, bro.
No, like, you gotta ask tough questions. You have to ask tough questions.
When is the contract ending? And they, bro, like how many person told you I won't tell you? Nobody.
No, like, and like even a simple question of what type of cleaning is your company doing for you now? How many times a week do they come? What type of cleaning? Do you guys do? And then you might uncover other needs, like just because like they have a cleaning company, it doesn't mean there's no need for maybe a specialized cleanup, like
they might even try to brush you off until you ask them for the right service that they're not having right now. So by you asking questions, you ended up like, "Oh, they're not taking care of the window cleaning. Do you need a window cleaning? Oh yeah, you know what? For that, we're due. We're overdue for that. Yeah. Oh, you guys are doing window cleaning? Yeah, we're doing the window cleaning. Okay, so send me a quote for that.
Yeah, because they don't even know themselves that they need it, and until you uncover it for them, and then they're happy and they love you for it. They love you for that. They're like, "Wow, this guy, these people just made me realize that I have other needs."
So it's like hard.
That happened. We've closed clients that already have a commercial cleaning company. But because I uncovered that, hey, like maybe a deep clean once a month deep specialized cleaning, like disinfecting, that they don't have. So you can do that in unison with our
like we said yesterday. You do what they're not doing. Like we said yesterday, you're trying to dominate, not compete. Yep. they're not doing these type of like upsells to their clients. Jokes on them. Do the upsell for them. It's like not everybody's thinking about that. You might think that the other companies are all doing. They're not offering all services. Not everyone has taught everything. And now more than ever, we need more creative people to think about these things. Just go for it. Ask for it. If you have a service, you have a machine, you have something that you're doing, the world needs to know. Your biggest problem right now is not money, it's obscurity. You need to come on this podcast on Friday with me and Jordan and talk about your business. That's what you need to do. If you're out here listening to us, you need to like reach out to me and Jordan and get your business known on the podcast, because we're not intimidating. Like if you're here listening to us, you need to talk about your business on Friday. That's the first step. That's what we.
And I love learning about people's business too. Like
100%.
I love learning stuff about people, and I'm generally curious and interested in people. I think that's where the success comes from. Is that I'm generally curious. I generally want to help people. You know, like when I'm selling a service or when I'm trying to solve people's problems, we should say. I think that's what it is. Like,
that's what
you
brought
really like you really come off as a likable
here.
person and not like a slimy salesperson. Like, oh, this person just cares about their pocket. When they think that about you, like this person just cares about their own pocket, forget it. You know, it needs to come across as like, okay, like what's in it for them? Everybody, there's always something in it for somebody, right? Like they know that you're there to make money, and it's okay. Like everybody needs to feed their family, right? But what can this person do for me? And then they're happy to give you the sale. They'll go out of their way to make sure you get it.
Hey, some of them are sales guys too, right? Some of them will love that. They will love because it will remind them of them. It does that with me, Jordan. When I get you get sales calls too. Like we get sales calls. I actually like I don't criticize them on their sales skills, but I actually like in my head, I'm judging it. You know, I'm listening to this sales call. I'm actually listening to a person, and when they do well, when they do efforts, when they keep trying, I'm actually like rewarding that.
You respect it.
I respect it.
Yeah,
I respect it. So you might end up not knowing that you're trying to sell to another salesperson, especially if you're doing B2B. Like most of these, like if you're dealing with CEOs, if you're dealing like what the employees or whatever, but if you're doing B2B sales, trying to sell to other businesses, most of these guys, they had to go through the same process that you're going through right now. They understand you more than maybe your friends or your mom who's trying to like tell you off of the business, tell you, no, it's not for you. This person that you're trying to sell to might have the check that you need, like the next opportunity for you to grow your business. And on top of that, they might understand you better than most people around, like your circle, your friends, especially if you're starting. That was my experience. I had clients who were also at some point like mentoring me at the beginning. Like it happened. You know, I had big clients who gave us, me and Kev, who came on the podcast the other day, they gave us our biggest opportunity when we started as subcontractants. We started with big, you know, we talked about this on the podcast the other day. You know, we started with big contracts, very huge opportunities, and these guys were our clients. So you don't know what's like behind the veil of going past your comfort zone and calling and actually pushing. It's hard to push. It's hard to push on a sales call. It's hard to do that. Your ego and your fear of rejection and your fear of like it's stronger than anything. I feel like it's the hardest thing to like go
like past. I know it doesn't sound sexy and everything, but it's really where all the magic happens.
What?
Like getting out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
I keep thinking to that scene in Godfather, you know, when it's scary to jump, that's exactly when, and I live by that. And now when I'm confronted with a problem, I'm like, it's an opportunity, you know. I know it doesn't sound like, you know, like influencer, like sexy, like here's how to get rich quick, like those kind of things.
Yeah, there's no scheme here. It's real skill set building, and like it's like yeah, it's practice. It's true. It's not popular. Like it's not like get. It's true, but it's real. I feel like it's more aligned with what the like you know the sports legends are doing, and like the these sports guys that broke records. Have you seen this Eddie Eddie Hall? Have you seen that guy
No, who's Eddie Hall?
lifting 500 kilograms,
Is that Mr.
11
Mr. Universe or
1100
something?
pounds? I
Is
don't
that like
know.
those shows there? Hey,
Eddie Hall.
I saw this super muscular man pull a train.
I think it's
You see those shows? They pull trains.
go see Eddie
cord.
Hall. He has the record for the like he did you go see Eddie Hall. Just go see the video of him um pulling. I don't remember the name of the exercise when you're holding the bar like this and you're going like this.
Deadlift.
He deadlifted 1100 pounds.
Wow.
He had a concussion
That's wild.
doing it. He had a concussion and he couldn't remember his wife's and kids' names for 3 weeks because of the lift.
Dangerous,
because of one single lift. During
And
the lift,
he's okay now though. It was just like temporary.
yeah, he had a concussion. He lost
Shit.
vision he lost his vision. How crazy is that? How crazy? But he broke the record and he said, I don't think that's what he said. He said, I don't think anyone else will break my record because of what I had to do to get there. And I found just like so mesmerizing, bro.
That's crazy.
Like this guy is crazy. You need to go if you guys are there, you need to go see Eddie Hall.
You really have to be willing to sacrifice. Like that's another level, man. Like like boxing and sports, like combat sports.
Yeah.
Shit is so dangerous, man. It could leave you a vegetable for the rest of your life. One hit in one match, like
yeah,
you could die.
F1, bro.
Man,
one turn, one wrong turn,
sports
you
are
flip
crazy.
over. F1 is
Yeah.
crazy. I watch it with Kev.
Yeah, football with all the concussions.
Football also, I watch. Yeah,
I'll put hockey up there, but I wouldn't say hockey is like
hockey, bro. They shoot pucks.
Yeah,
at
hockey's
90
intense.
mph, bro.
Hockey's trust me, hockey's crazy intense. But when it comes to dangerous. When it comes for sure, it is. You'll lose teeth. You're fighting. It's intense. But when it comes to for me, combat sports, man, one punch to the face, it ruins you for the rest of your life. You become like.
Yeah, you're obviously
paralyzed.
breaking your body. Like even if you're not paralyzed or whatever, like these guys, they're you see some of these old time boxers sometimes on the sidelines watching the match, and you see their ears.
Yeah, the cauliflower
messed
ears,
up, bro. Like these guys, they broke their body forever.
I would like to have ears like that.
Why?
The cauliflower ears. Because nobody messes with somebody with cauliflower ears. Never. Don't even think of you see somebody with cauliflower ears in the streets, never mess with that person, bro. Those guys know how to fight.
Would you buy something from, like, if this guy is trying to sell you something, would you buy it from him just because he has cauliflower ears? Like
no, but I'll probably buy it from them because I know they work hard and I know they're super disciplined, and I for those reasons, and I know they work hard and I know they're fighters. Like.
So how crazy is that? Like, what could be the reason your clients are buying from you? You don't know. You might think it's your product. You might be like out there telling you have the best product, but your clients are actually. Do you really know why your clients are buying off of you? Did you ask them?
I think it's like, not really, but maybe that'd be a good question to ask. But I feel like it's because I'm being myself. I'm genuine. I'm not trying to rip anybody off. I'm actually trying to help them, and I actually mean it when I'm trying to help them. And I've also turned customers away, right? Because I'm like, when we would get customers who had, I'm not gonna say the company, but they were with that company and they had really, really low rates all the time, and I would tell them like, Monsieur, Madame, and
yeah,
I knew, and I knew that they're gonna be more expensive with us, that our service, like,
or break even, right? Sometimes it's not even like, or you're saving them like $10. You're not gonna switch for $10.
I'm not gonna waste your time. I don't feel right doing that.
No. You make your commission, but the person is never gonna get like
But I'll always try to find value. Like, okay, maybe you don't like your machine. Maybe your machine is slow. Maybe you want a
Yeah.
wireless. We have wireless machines. We have different.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes they tell you, no, 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 moi ça va bien, tout va bien. So your only hook is telling them like, I could save you that
They
much.
just hear, and it's you need to stand out, right? Because especially when you're in a saturated market like that, everybody's
It's hard. Yeah.
it's tough. They receive 100 calls a day. Sometimes you're calling them. Do you remember back in the day we used to call them? They used to say, "Oh my God, vous êtes la
Ah ouais, la
quatrième
14e
personne."
compagnie. Ouais, ouais, ouais.
Ouais, puis on est même pas 10 heures le matin. You're the
Yeah.
fourth person today that called me. It's not even 10 a.m. Those are tough. But
Yeah. Those were the calls we were making when you remember using page
But
jaune,
you have to believe in what you're selling.
the page jaune
You have
leads
to you have
with
to believe in
four
what you're
people.
selling. You have to believe it.
Yeah, you have to believe that you're actually making a difference for these clients, like that you're actually helping them going forward. Like
It's so easy to convince somebody when I always go back to that example of when I closed that dépanneur, that convenience store, the high volume that I was saving $400, $500, $600, I can't remember, per month. And it was so in my head, even though the person was saying no, I didn't leave because I knew that this person is better off with my service. I knew that deep down. If I didn't know that, no way I was closing them.
so, I guess as a business owner, I guess it's important to also find uh, um like it's either a service or a product. I was about to say like an industry, but it's not about the industry. It's more about like what you're trying, like fixing problems. You know, if your item or service is just as the other items, you're gonna find it like hard to sell it and keep also keep yourself motivated. You know, we've heard that like all these drop shipping guys, George, like that we've heard during a pandemic. I make so much money drop shipping. I made $5,000,
Oh
$6,000.
man, makes
Like
my head want to blow.
there's so many people like trying to like do drop shipping. I feel like it's everyone now who is doing that, and I think it's good. It's a good sideline, but I see the problem here. The problem is staying committed to what you were doing in the first place that was working.
Bro, we're still
And
seeing ads to this day. That means it's still working, and it could still work. You just got to be different. Because
exactly.
I'm used to seeing like the same ads for
Mhm.
different companies.
Mhm.
So that means these companies are buying these ads from a third party, and these third parties are selling the same ads to different
But you
companies.
need to like, let's be real, like with all these people doing the same thing right now, you need to be very committed for your
Yeah, you need to do
product
a lot of
to
research and
peak.
find out what's selling right now.
Yeah.
You know, like now it's winter time. It would be nice to sell winter products. If you're targeting the Canadian market, you can offer like cars, scrapers for the windshield, for example. Like people are buying stuff like that now, and you just got to get on the trend at the right time and have creative adverts. You have to have really creative advertising.
But to stay committed to like one piece of item forever is impossible. Like staying committed to selling mittens for the next 10 winters, I feel is harder than finding. Well, it's my opinion.
Well, hey, if you're getting sales in, I'm pretty sure you're not going to be bored of selling mittens. You think people who are pouring concrete in the street love and are passionate about concrete? Probably not.
But if
They're probably making a
but
lot of
if
money
you're
from it.
like okay, let's say you sell mittens, you sell a lot of mittens. You don't have a problem selling mittens for 3 years, 4 years. And then on the 5th year, it doesn't work anymore. Or it works.
Yeah, but you should have already seen that coming.
Yeah, of course.
You've already
So what?
seen it
But
coming.
what are you going to be doing?
You're looking for other products
Other
that are
things.
emerging, other emerging products that are trending.
So
That's how that game works.
so now you're committed not to like the product anymore. You're committed.
No, you're committed to just finding the trends and finding it's not a scalable.
So what happens to all these guys now? They're
Not a
trying to
scalable,
sell you.
like,
They're
the
trying to
whole
sell you the
business-
course.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's what they do.
Like, the
They
whole
sell you the
business model-
course to find products
Yeah.
because they don't like finding products anymore.
The business model of drop shipping is fun. It seems fun, and it could be, and it still does work. it's still, you can make money doing it. You got to find the right
But it's
product that
pretty
people are
boring.
buying.
It's pretty boring at the end of the day. If you're not fixing a problem to society, or
You're
you're
not
just
you're not
you're
really,
just
because
building more
no,
plastic and
you're
selling
not
more
really, you're just
plastic.
putting yourself in front of the person at the right time, and if they can
Yes.
just go on Amazon and buy it
Yes.
for cheaper.
Yes. Yes. So that's
But
why
it's,
there's like,
yeah,
there's two things to that. There's, so if you tie too much importance to the product, and you're selling product, the psychology behind that is you're not gonna stay committed. You're not gonna stay motivated at some point. If you are committed to fix problems for your clients, I feel like it's more something out of like the business, like the service business, or if you invented a product, it's your product. You own the idea. It's different also. Uh, I don't think this applies to drop shipping in my case. Like in my view, you can't really apply this to like selling anything. Um, but if you're selling toilet paper to companies who are already buying thousands and thousands and thousands of rolls, and you have a solution for them, so it costs less for them, you're going to stay committed to that because you have a solution. You're fixing a problem for them. It's
yeah.
actually good value.
You
You're
have,
bringing up value.
because you're tying it to a purpose. When you tie it to a purpose, to a greater purpose, that's what drives you.
Exactly.
If you're just
Exactly.
driven, I don't think money is enough to.
Non, c'est ça.
I don't think just money is. It's good in the short term. You'll be motivated to make that money, but when you're actually making a difference in people's lives, you have a purpose. You're driven by that purpose, and then the rest comes.
We're all asking ourselves, right? Am I going to do that for the rest of my life? Am I going to really sell these things for the rest of my? At some point, you're making $8,000 a month, okay? And you have your condo, everything is paid, your family, $8,000, $8,000, $8,000, $8,000, making, like, selling, I don't know, toilet paper, whatever. You're gonna start asking yourself, am I gonna sell toilet paper for the rest of my
For the
life
rest
for
of
eight
my
thousand
life.
dollars?
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna start thinking about saving up to do something else. Why? It works for you. It works well. You're
But
doing
that's
fine.
totally cool though. If somebody's riding a wave of selling products, keep doing it until it dies. But while you're doing it, you should be preparing for another one, or you should preparing
Yeah,
for, like, doing your research and looking for the next things that are going to be emerging soon. Because there's
100%.
always, that's how humans work. There's always going to be trends. There's always trends that are coming out.
But at the end of the day,
But
you
it's
should
not a
always
scalable
keep
solution
track
though.
of.
That, like, try to.
Yeah, you
How
need
can you
to.
build a brand? Can you build a brand by selling toilet paper and make it scalable?
Well, the
So
thing, yeah, that's so.
because
So
because
you said
that's
it. You
because
start
drop
by.
shipping, like
Sorry.
the end goal. No problem. This is the end goal, because I did a lot, because I was interested in drop shipping like 2 years
I
ago.
know.
I was really into it, and the goal of drop shipping is to, when you find that product, is to build a brand out of it. So
Hmm.
you're only doing the little drop shipping in a short term, but the goal is to find something that really works, and then building a brand, going to China, because you're essentially ordering them from AliExpress, and you're linking it to your website directly, and you're putting like a 5x markup on the product. So, and you have to pay a lot in ads, but the whole goal is like you're 5xing your the like let's
But
say
it's very few. It's very few
a
of these
charger.
It's very few of these drop shipping brands, like you say, that actually became real brands that were actually looking. I have a brand here that is a little bit like you say. They started as mostly a drop shipping brand on Amazon. I don't know if you could call it drop shipping if it's on Amazon, but anyways, they were selling on Amazon. They only had their thing on Amazon, their little like commerce on Amazon, and they began selling a lot more, and they created a community, and they created a lot more products related and all that stuff. Yes, I think some of these brands, they grew out of just drop shipping to created their own thing, and not just like
Yeah,
buying.
that's how you
um,
start, and then you source it from China, and you could get in touch with the manufacturer directly, and then you put your logo on it, and then it's a different ball game after, because
your logo or something else. You could also like maybe build
most
your
most of
own.
them just slap a logo on, and
Mhm.
it perceives, but again, like, it's not.
Is it really fixing something? Because you're
Not
doing like
really, not
it's
really, not really. But you could make. I'm not. You
you're
could make
not you're
money
not
doing it though, and
recreating
people
Apple here.
and people make money doing it. Why do you think I gave up on that so soon? Because
Mm,
there's like 100 people selling the same things, doing the
mm.
same, going on the same Chinese website and linking it to their site.
You're not dominating. You're competing.
Competing, you're not dominating.
That's why it's boring. I feel
Yeah.
it gets boring. So yeah, bro, that's it for me. I don't know for you.
That's it for me
it's been
too.
an hour 20.
We went
Very
long,
interesting. Very interesting tactics Thursday. I feel like
Thursday tactics. Yes,
got
sir.
a lot of value for our people here. Please comment if you appreciated the live. Please subscribe to our channel. We need that. We're just starting. It's been a few months now, but still we're just a young podcast that's just starting. Me and George bootstrapping this for you guys to give you the most value. So if you liked what you've heard, please subscribe on YouTube, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. I don't know if we have a someone invited for the live tomorrow. George, who's there for the freestyle Friday?
I asked George if you wanted to come. It'd be nice to have George on.
Otherwise, I'll try to find someone.
I'll see if you can find somebody, because George never confirmed. He just said, "Oh, wait, faut qu'on check ça." Faut qu'on check ça. I just told you, yes or no. Are you coming or not? See, that's an example of George. If you're listening, you like that's the stuff that we preach over here in the podcast. Is not like, well, we're gonna check it out. No, it's yes or no. Straight up, yes or no.
Oh God.
Okay, and something tells me that you do want to come here, because I'm sure there's a lot of people looking at real estate in Portugal. That it's an interesting market for the people who like to invest in real estate. So
100%.
So that's it. That's it for me, man. Thank you very much, guys. Outro music.
Au revoir demain.